Welcome back. In the last video, we finalized the last file that we needed, requirements.txt, for our Food Vision Mini app. So now we're up to section number 9, and by the end of this section, we'll have deployed our Food Vision Mini app to Hugging Face spaces, and we can share it to our friends all over the world. How cool is that? So if they're eating pizza, steak, or sushi, they can take a photo of it and have our app classify it at a pretty decent performance level. Hugging Face spaces. So of course, we want to somehow get these files onto Hugging Face. And like I've got them here, this is again a machine learning cooking show. I prepared these earlier. So how can we do that? Well, we kind of touched upon in section number 9 of PyTorch model deployment. There are two main options for uploading to a Hugging Face space, also called a Hugging Face repository. And that is, you can upload through the web interface. So like in a drag and drop sort of format. We'll have a look at this in a second. Uploading a file. And then the other way is adding files to our repository through terminal. So you can do this from the command line. This is what we're going to be focused on. Again, if you need some help in understanding what's going on with Git and GitHub, I'd highly recommend Git and GitHub Free Code Camp tutorial for that. There we go, crash course. Heaps of resources there. But let's keep moving forward. And then actually there's one more bonus way. There's a Hugging Face Hub Python library, which you can use. So this is going to help you upload things to the Hugging Face Hub. And now the hub is kind of a catch-all term for models, data sets, spaces, everything you can imagine. So I'll leave that as extra curriculum. We're going to focus on one way in particular. So I'll get out of there. That is uploading via the command line or terminal. And remember, if you get stuck, all of the steps that we're going to be going through are available here. So the first thing we want to do is, if we're working with Google Colab, is we want to download our Food Vision Mini app files. Now, if you're running this locally, the steps might be quite a little bit different, but we just want this Food Vision Mini file, we want it available on our local machine so that we can upload it to Hugging Face. So let's see how we can do that. First of all, I'm going to go ls demos. I might just put in here text. I want 9.1 and downloading our Food Vision Mini app files. And I want to put here, we want to download our Food Vision Mini demo app so we can upload it to Hugging Face spaces and have it deployed. And I just want to put a little note here in the videos. Of course, this is in the reference material, but just to make it clear, I'm going to copy this into there. So that way you can reference this later if you want. We want boom, boom, and boom. So let's push forward. Let's see what's in the context of our demos Food Vision Mini. Wonderful. Oh, we've got PyCache as well. We'll probably add that to a git ignore folder, but I think that might be there by default. So this is just saying, hey, this is the folder. We've got our pre-trained model. We've got app.py. Yep. We've got model.py, requirements.txt, and then our examples directory. It doesn't list what's in there. I wonder if we go ls.la, will it list everything? No, it doesn't. That's all right. We could just list what's in examples like that. Beautiful. So now what we want to do is download the contents of this. Now we could do something like this on Google Colab. Oh, we can't download it. We could download it file by file. Download. Might be waiting a little while for that. But let's zip together Food Vision Mini and all of its contents so that we can download it as a single file. And the way that we can do that is by, first and foremost, we're going to change into the Food Vision Mini directory and then zip it from the inside. This is so that we can download it as a zip folder. And a zip folder, what is a zip folder? It's a compressed version of a directory. Compressed zip folders overview. Folders that are compressed using the compressed zip folders feature use less drive space, and can be transferred to other computers more quickly. So it's just basically, we're going to combine or zip together every folder or every file and folder, because this is an examples folder, in Food Vision Mini into one file. We'll see what this looks like in a second. So I'm going to change directory, cd demos Food Vision Mini, and then I'm going to run at the same time the zip command, and I'm going to call R for recursive, which means every file within recursively zip. I'm going to, my target directory to zip to is foodvisionmini.zip, and I want to zip everything from within. So let me just step through this. Change directories into, because if we go, what's the working directory? Print working directory. Content, we're here, but we want to change into here. And then once we're in there, let's zip recursively everything into a file called foodvisionmini.zip. So that should end up with demos, Food Vision Mini as a directory. And then we should end up with foodvisionmini.zip here. And the star is saying zip everything that's within the current directory to this. A lot going on, but if you want to look it up, you can go to zip command Linux. So these are very helpful to learn because a lot of computers worldwide, including Google Colab, runs on a Linux backend. Yeah, zip command in Linux with examples, how to zip files and directories in Linux, a whole bunch of examples there, but that's essentially what we're doing. And we're going to add one little tag here, and that's X for exclude. That means, oh, see? That took a little while to download, but now we've got our trained PyTorch model. We don't want that. We want everything in one file. Exclude, or the X stands for exclude. So we want to zip everything except for anything ending in PYC. And we also want to exclude anything ending in IPyNB, which will include IPython checkpoints or Jupyter Notebook checkpoints. Remember, Colab is IPyNB. So we don't want to include any of those. We also want to exclude anything to do with PyCache. We don't need that. These are just files that we don't need. You'll see these quite often ignored. IPyNB checkpoints. And we'll put a star there. So let's see how this goes. Or maybe, do we need to do? Yeah, let's just see how that goes. There we go. Did it add that? Oh no, we need to add a zip there. A star on the end there. Beautiful, there we go. Okay, so what do we have over here? foodvisionmini.zip, wonderful. So of course we can download this like that. It's going to start to download, but we can also do this programmatically. So now we've combined everything in Food Vision Mini, as you can see, app.py, examples, that first image, that second image, model.py, requirements.txt. We've got that in our zip file now. But, we could download it here manually with buttons, but as I said, we want to try and do as much as possible programmatically. So download, if you're working locally, this might be a little different. So you might have to download it manually, but if we're working on Google Colab, which is what we're doing now, we can go from google.colab, import files, and then if we can get files, we want to files.download. Let's download demos/foodvisionmini.zip, and then accept. We'll just print out a little line here saying not running in Google Colab. We'll go can't use google.colab.files.download. Please download manually. Or please download foodvisionmini.zip manually. Now let's try this. Run that. We might get, if you've never seen this before, you might get a warning from Google Colab in your browser saying that it's trying to download some files. So I'm going to let this run and I'll come back once it's finished. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll come back once this is finished downloading. If any errors come up, I'll let you know. Okay, so that took a couple of minutes on my end to download, but this is that warning I was showing you. If you run this, your browser, depending on your privacy settings, may want you to allow you to download files from Google Colab. it allowed it to work manually. So the one where I clicked on here and then clicked download, this worked. But because we're trying to do it programmatically, I'm going to click allow here. And yeah, see, we've got two copies here. The first one is when I went download and it started to work there. And then the second one is by running this code here. But truly, they actually contain they both contain the same files. So if we wanted to show all, we'll get out of that. I want to go to my local directory. So downloads, Food Vision Mini zip 1 and Food Vision Mini zip. If we go into that, there we go. We still got PyCache somehow. We may have to get rid of that, but these are the files we want to upload to Hugging Face Spaces. So we now have a guide to either upload via the web interface or upload via the command line or terminal. So if you want to try that out, give it a go. We've got the files ready to go. But in the next video, we're going to start working towards, well, actually, if you want to try running it locally, you can try that. But then we're going to start working towards uploading these files to Hugging Face. So try that out yourself if you want to. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video and we'll deploy Food Vision Mini to the web for everyone to use. I'll see you there.